Welcome friends. Let us discuss about part 4 about chapter 1, that is the concept which include in this part are divergence, work and potential, dipole and Poisson's and Laplace equations. So let us come to the concept divergence. So divergence is nothing but, here you can clearly observe, there is a vector a bar, then the divergence of a bar is at a given point is the outflow of the flux from a small closed surface per unit volume as the volume shrinks to zero. See, here you can observe a charge that is kept at point P. So here from that charge flux lines are coming out like this. You can clearly observe, as the flux lines will come out like this, what happens to the volume of the charge? That volume shrinks to zero. So if the flux lines come out like this, if they diverge out, then that is called as positive divergence. If the flux lines come towards the charge, that is negative divergence, which is called as convergence. And here the net flux is zero. Whatever the flux is coming to that point, the same flux is leaving that point. So here the net flux is zero. Okay, so the divergence of a vector a bar is nothing but the measure of how much field is represented by a bar diverges or converges from that point. That means how much of flux will go out of that point charge, or how much of flux is coming to that point charge. That decides the divergence of a vector a bar. So if the flux goes out and the volume shrinks to zero, that is positive divergence. If the flux concentrates to that one point, that is negative divergence or convergence. And here in this third one, the total divergence is zero. Okay, same amount of flux is coming to that point and same flux is leaving that point. This is the basic definition of divergence. Okay, next, divergence concept can be explained from differential volume element of the Gauss law. Already in the previous session we have dealt that charge q is equal to dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz by dou z into delta v. This we have obtained from differential volume element of Gauss law. Okay, now this can be compared to Gauss law formula q equal to integral d bar dot ds bar. So if we apply limit for this, q equal to integral d bar dot ds bar, we set that volume shrinks to zero now. So limit delta v tends to zero. So where d bar is equal to dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz by dou z into delta v. So as the volume tends to zero, your formula improves like this. So we can say that divergence of a vector a bar is equal to dou ax by dou x, dou ay by dou y plus dou az by dou z. So simply divergence of any vector a bar is equal to dou ax by dou x plus dou ay by dou y plus dou az by dou z. This is very important formula. Even it is useful for many competitive exams like that. So this is the formula for divergence of any vector a bar. Okay. Now coming to del operator. Del operator is mostly used for divergence concept. So we know that divergence of a bar is equal to dou ax by dou x plus dou ay by dou y plus dou az by dou z. So this is the divergence of a bar. So the same thing can be represented as the symbol del, inverse triangle. This del is also equal to dou by dou x of ax, dou by dou y of ay, dou by dou z of az. Simply here we are not showing the main vector. That means here divergence of a bar means here del dot a bar we should represent like that, because we are not showing the main vector a, because a is nothing but it can be resolved into ax into ax, ay into ay plus az into az. So del dot a bar means you should substitute that here. So divergence of a bar is nothing but equal to del dot a bar only. Then only that will be equated to del dot a bar is equal to dou ax by dou x, dou ay by dou y plus dou az by dou z. So simply del dot a bar is nothing but equal to divergence of a bar. This is the importance of del operator. or vector operator. So next we should go for divergence theorem. So we already know that divergence of a vector d bar, is equal to dou dx by dou x plus dou dy by dou y plus dou dz by dou z. So from Gauss law, psi equal to q equal to integral d bar dot ds bar. If we divide it with differential volume delta v and apply limits on both sides, q by delta v is nothing but equal to rho v. No, volume charge density is charge divided by the volume. So from this, divergence of d bar is equal to rho v, or del dot d bar is equal to rho v. This is Maxwell's first equation or point form of Gauss law, which is very important. They may ask you in bits. Del dot d bar is equal to rho v, where rho v is the volume charge density, del is the vector operator for a vector d bar. So divergence theorem states that we know that q equal to integral d bar dot ds bar, but q is also equal to integral rho v dv. So from this, del dot d bar equal to rho v, we know that information. So if we substitute this in equation 2 and equating them, we will get integral d bar dot ds bar is equal to volume integral of del dot d bar dv. So this divergence theorem is used to convert a surface integral to a volume integral. Surface integral of d bar dot ds bar is equal to volume integral of del dot d bar dv. So here from this formula we can clearly observe that surface integral of a system is converted to volume integral. This is the importance of divergence theorem. So let us see one problem. There is a vector a bar equal to 2xy ax plus zy plus yz square az. Find del dot a bar at point p equal to 2 minus 1 3. So they have given you a vector a bar. We know that del dot a bar is nothing but divergence of a bar, dou ax by dou x, dou ay by dou y, dou az by dou z. So find the partial derivatives of all these. You will get one expression 2y plus 2yz, and substitute the point p value 2 minus 1 3, and finally you will get the del dot a bar value as minus 8, which is very important model problem. So next we will come for the concept work. We already know from the basic definitions that electric potential or voltage is nothing but the work done in moving a positive charge from infinity to a required point. So in order to move a charge against the electric field, we have understood that some work is said to be done. So it is clear that the work is said to be done when the test charge is moved against the electric field. When a charge is moved against an electric field, then we can say that some work is being done. So for that we will express some formulas. So we know that E equal to F by Q. So from that, F equal to Q into E bar. See, to move this test charge QT from one point to another point, we need to apply some force FL, and the unit vector in that direction is AL. So FL equal to magnitude of that force dot AL bar, where F is equal to again Q into E. So to keep the charge in equilibrium position, we should apply the same force in opposite direction. So applied is equal to minus FL, that is equal to QT E bar into AL bar. So from that work done, what is the formula for work done? Force into displacement is the formula for work done. Differential work is equal to applied force into differential length. So minus QT into E bar into AL bar. So from this, work done dW is equal to minus QE dot EL bar. This is the differential work done. Total work done is integrated from initial position to final position, and you will get W equal to minus Q integral E bar dot DL bar. So work done is equal to minus Q, this is the charge value, integral B to A, that means initial position to final position, E bar dot DL bar. This is the formula for work done in moving a test charge against the electric field. Next, what is meant by potential difference? So we already know that, we have already derived that work done to move a charge q from point B to A is W equal to minus q into integral B to A E bar dot dl bar. So we know that V equal to W by Q and W equal to Q into V. So from that, what is V on comparison? V is equal to minus integral B to A E bar dot dl bar. This is the expression for potential difference between point A to B. So V equal to minus integral E bar dot dl bar. The work done per unit charge in moving a unit charge from B to A in the field E bar is called potential difference between the points B to A. This is the expression for potential difference, which is very important. VAB equal to minus integral B to A E bar dot dl bar is the expression for potential difference between 2 points A and B. Next, potential due to a point charge. See, let us take the assumption. Consider a point charge located at the origin of a spherical coordinate system. See, this is a point charge Q which is located at the origin for a spherical coordinate system. The radius of the sphere is taken as RA. So we already know that E bar due to this charge Q is given by Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Now what is the differential length in spherical coordinate system? DL is equal to, this is the formula for differential length in spherical coordinate system. Now we need to find the potential due to this point charge. We know that potential formula is VAB is equal to minus integral E bar dot DL bar. Already we gave the formula for differential length DL for spherical coordinate system and also E bar due to a point charge. So find the dot product of these two from integrating from the limits RB to RA. So if you integrate and find the dot product of E bar dot DL bar, we will get the expression for VAB due to a point charge as VAB is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by RA minus 1 by RB volts. This is the potential due to a point charge Q. VAB is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by RA minus 1 by RB. Okay. So absolute potential is nothing but potential which is measured with respect to a specific reference position. That reference position is nothing but assumed as at zero potential. Potential is always a scalar quantity. We already know that VAB is equal to work done in moving a charge Q from point B to point A is given by Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by RA minus 1 by RB. Now let the charge be moved from infinity to point A. Infinity means RB is taken as infinity, where 1 by RB is equal to 0. So if you substitute that infinity here, you will get VA is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into RA volts. That means particularly the potential at a point is given as absolute potential, that is VA equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught RA. So small problem based on this formula. See, a point charge Q equal to 0.4 nanocoulombs is located at origin. Obtain the absolute potential of A. See, we already know that absolute potential formula is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught RA. So RA is nothing but the distance vector between these 2 points. So from this you can find the VA. Very easy, direct formula substitution. Similarly, this problem is also the application of same formula. VA is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught RA. Find the distance vector between these 2 points and you can find the absolute potential at point A. Next, these are the potential formulas. These are the formulas for potentials due to a line charge, potential due to a surface charge, and potential due to a volume charge. Actual potential formula is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. So in the place of line charge, in the place of Q, you will substitute rho L. For surface charge, you will substitute rho S. For volume charge, you will substitute rho V into R. That's all. Based on the type of charge, we are improving the formula. These are the potentials due to line charge, surface charge, and volume charge. Next, potential difference due to an infinite line charge. So again, same thing. An infinite line charge of line charge density ρl is placed along z axis. You are assuming a point A the distance from origin to point A is RA, and if you want to move a charge from point B to point A, I want to move a charge from point B to point A against the electric field. So what is the distance from origin to point B is RB, distance from origin to point A is RA. So E bar due to infinite line charge is given by, already we know this formula, rho L by 2 epsilon naught R into AR bar. This is the differential length. For a cylindrical coordinate system you are considering. So we already know that potential difference VAB is equal to minus integral E bar dot DL bar. So E bar formula you already know, rho L by 2 pi epsilon naught R, and DL for a cylindrical coordinate system you are using this. So now integrate it from the limits RB to RA, because you are moving a charge from B to A. Okay, so after substituting the limits you will get the potential difference due to an infinite line charge as rho L by 2 pi epsilon naught log RB by RA after the complete derivation. So next we will come for the concept equipotential surface. So in electric field there will be many points where the electric potential will be same. Okay, in an electric field there will be many points where the electric potential will be same. Now if you join all such points which are having the same electric potential, then that surface is called as equipotential surface. If you join all the points which are having the same electric potential, then that surface is called as equipotential surface. Okay, so next we need to know what is meant by conservative field. The work done in moving a test charge around any closed path is equal to 0, because for a closed path from what point we are starting, at the same point we are ending. So the integration over a closed surface is equal to 0. So the total work done, integral E bar dot DL bar, is equal to 0. Such type of field is called as conservative field. Next, the rate of change of potential with respect to distance is called as potential gradient, and the main relation is E bar equal to minus del V, and energy density is given by W equal to half integral D bar dot E bar. Okay, this relation E bar equal to minus del V is very important. Next, the vector operator del, which is again applied to this work also. Already we know that del operator is equal to dou by dou x into ax plus dou by dou y into ay, dou by dou z into az. So here we know that E bar is equal to Ex ax plus Ey ay plus Ez az, and this is the differential length in Cartesian coordinate system. And we know that work done equal to integral E bar dot DL bar, differential voltage is equal to minus E bar dot DL bar. So I am writing all the coefficients for x, y and z. So E bar equal to this much. So we know that del equal to dou by dou x ax, dou by dou y ay, dou by dou z az. On comparing these two equations, this and this, we can say that E bar equal to minus del V, which is very important derivation. If they give you V value, you can find the electric field intensity E value from this formula. So let us see one example. So they gave you V value x minus y plus xy plus 2z. Find E bar. So we know that E bar equal to minus del V. So apply del operation for this and find the partial derivatives and find the E value. After finding the E value, substitute the limits, because we already know that W equal to half integral D bar dot E bar or epsilon naught E square. So after finding the E, you can substitute the T here with all the limits. Okay, very important formula, E equal to minus del V, useful for problems. Next we will go for the concept electric dipole. So the 2 point charges of equal magnitude but opposite sign separated by a very small distance gives rise to an electric dipole. See, here you can clearly observe there is a point charge of plus q at point A and minus q at point B. These two charges of equal magnitude but opposite in signs, when they are separated by a distance d, the set of this plus q and minus q will constitute an electric dipole. will constitute an electric dipole. So here we should derive the expression for E at a point P due to this dipole. The set of these two charges is called as dipole. So we will derive the expression for E at point P due to this dipole set. Okay. So the expression for electric field intensity due to this dipole is this formula, Qd by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube into 2 cos theta ar plus sin theta a theta. And also dipole moment is the product of charge and the distance vector. Q d bar is the dipole moment. So what is meant by a dipole? Two charges of same magnitude but opposite sign separated by a distance d constitute an electric dipole. This is the electric field intensity at a point due to a dipole, and this is the dipole moment, product of charge and distance vector. Next, Poisson's and Laplace equations. This is the last concept of our first unit. So from the Gauss law, Maxwell's first equations, we already know that del dot d bar, this is very important, del dot d bar equal to rho v, where d bar is the flux density and rho v is the volume charge density. We also know that d bar equal to epsilon e bar, but d bar equal to del dot e bar we can write, where in the place of d bar I am substituting epsilon e bar. So from this we already know that E bar equal to minus del V. So substituting these equations we can improve like this. So after improving this, we can simply get this format, del square V equal to minus rho V by epsilon, which is called as Poisson's equation. This is very important. Simply here we are using direct Gauss law expressions only. By adjusting the simple formulas, we can say that del square V equal to minus rho V by epsilon. This is called as Poisson's equation. In a region where volume charge density is 0, we can say that rho V is equal to 0. So for volume charge density is 0, we can say that del square V equal to 0. This equation is called as Laplace equations. So what is the Poisson's equation? Del square V equal to minus rho V by epsilon, and Laplace equation is del square V equal to 0. This is the Poisson and Laplace equation. This is the Poisson equation in Cartesian system and Poisson equation in cylindrical system. Next, the problems may come like this. Verify whether the given field will satisfy the Laplace equation or not. So here they have given an expression for V. What is Laplace equation? Del square V should be equal to V 0. That is the Laplace equation. So find del square operation for this partial derivatives. We should apply to square times dou square by dou x square into V, dou square by dou y square into V, dou square by dou z square into V. If you do this, and if the answer is 0, then we can say that del square V equal to 0 satisfies the Laplace equation. So what is the Poisson's equation? Del square V equal to minus rho V by epsilon naught, and Laplace equation is del square V equal to 0. If the given field satisfies the Laplace equation, these type of problems will come. Okay, this is the end of the first unit. Thank you.